Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kamil Kuźmiak and in today's episode I'm gonna show you how to bring some analog vibes into your digital photography using the DEHANCER film emulation. Let's get to it. In one of the previous episodes I reviewed the video version of the plugin, and today we're gonna focus on the photography version of the plugin. Oh, and just a little disclaimer, the DEHANCER it's not paying me anything for this review, so you're gonna get my 100% unbiased opinion. So DEHANCER Pro is the film emulating software that lets you to transform your digital images into analog photography. Obviously it's not a real analog photography, but lets you to emulate the grain, the dynamic range of a film, the colors. You have 63 film profiles, so you can choose between many different film stocks from Fujifilm, Kodak, Orvo and many others. You have some special effects like blooming, like halation, like vignetting that lets you to bring some nice analog characteristics into your photos. And currently the DEHANCER film emulation software is available for most of the major photo editing platforms such as Affinity Photo, Adobe Photoshop, Adobe Lightroom, Capture One. If you want, you can go to the DEHANCER website and download the trial version of the plugin and test the software alongside with me. Today we're gonna focus on the Affinity Photo version of the plugin because this is my photo editing software of choice. However, regardless of the program you use, it's pretty much the same process. So if you have the Adobe Photoshop or Lightroom, you can download the Photoshop version and you can still follow my video to see all the features because it's pretty much the same process. Okay guys, enough chatting, let's go to the laptop and let's get to testing. So remember, first of all, if you have your picture shot in RAW, to do all the basic color corrections that you normally do when you develop RAW, bringing back all the lost details from the shadows, from the highlights, then you do all the basic retouching, taking care of the skin if it's a portrait, removing everything from the image you want to remove. Then you can apply the DEHANCER Pro like this final step. In order to do that, go to Filters. At the bottom you have the plugins tab, and if you install the plugin correctly, you're gonna have the DEHANCER film there, so you just open it. Now we have our picture. On the left we have all the presets. On the right we have all the controls, the film compression, the print, the film grain controls that lets you to control the amount, the size of grain. You have the halation, which is this red halo effect around the bright parts of the image. We have the blooming, which is the effect that softens all of the light sources. And here on the left, when you open the plugin, if you press all presets, then you have access to all of them. At the bottom we have a little histogram going. What I like to do is just going over all of the presets to find the look that I like, and then I can apply just a couple tweaks here and there. So that's the first one. ADOX Color Implosion 100, Aqua Color 100 looks quite cool. We have some nice black and white filter here. I really like what it does to the portrait. Oh, that's nice. This one is a little bit colder. It's usually a tough choice to pick the film stock because there is so many good looks that I like straight away. Kodak Vision, that's interesting with some heavy halation, as you can see around the glasses. That looks pretty cool. Oh, I like the Orvo. It's a little bit different, the colors are a little bit off, the white balance is a little bit off, a little bit cold, but I don't know, there is something about that look that I like. And the last one is some nice black and white filter. I think for this one actually I want to go black and white. I don't know why, I just really like this picture in black and white. One of the Ilford stocks, I think, but maybe I will recover a little bit of details from the shadows. Let's apply a little bit of the film compression, and then we can change the white point a little bit, and then the black point, we can find that in the expand tab. So if we move the black point lower, we can recover a little bit of that shadows because it was slightly too dark in my opinion. Now that white point, I think I'm gonna take it down a little bit. I think I'm happy with the result. We can press OK. Now, as you can see, the picture is ready. Let's crop it a little bit, I think, because I think it's gonna be better if the eyes gonna be more centered. So let's keep the original ratio, and now let's crop it slightly so we get those eyes more centered. Okay, I'm happy with that. Let me just export the file. We have another portrait. As you can see, the raw picture is already developed and all the basic skin retouching and all that stuff is done. So now let's apply the stylized look. This one is nice. I like this one straight away. It's a little bit like testing the perfumes in the perfume shop. After 5 different fragrances, you are completely confused and it's difficult to make a choice and everything is mixing in your head. That's how I feel right now. Again, Kodak Vision, nice halation, interesting look. If you have nicely developed raw, like well-balanced edit, I've noticed that majority of the presets, they work straight away. You don't really need to do any heavy tweaking at the end. Sometimes a little bit more halation, a little bit more delicate grain or more grain. Maybe if the sky is a little bit blown out, you can use the film compression. But overall, those presets give you some pretty nice look straight out of the gate, which is great actually, because I really liked how some of the cameras, like Fujifilm cameras, have those built-in presets, like a film emulation presets, so you can get that film look straight in camera. But the cool thing is that if you have any DSLR, any mirrorless camera and the DEHANCER plugin, you can achieve pretty much the same result in post. You just apply the DEHANCER, you apply your favorite film look. I think I'm gonna go to the Kodak Aero Color 4, maybe slightly change the black point. Yeah, I think I like this look the best. Let me just check little before and after. Maybe let's add slightly more grain, maybe the positive version of the grain that's a little bit more delicate, and maybe let's do it 40. Okay, I like that, that's actually nice. Okay, so let me just save it. Okay, we have another picture. This time this is a picture of a wristwatch, nice close-up product photo. This one, it's interesting. I like the more contrasty look. That's interesting, like a little bit more moody. Black and white, I'm not sure about the black and white. This black and white is actually pretty nice, but I think I'm gonna go color on this one. Yeah, it's much more contrasty than the original image, more moody, but let me check one of the looks I liked at the very beginning. I think it was this one. I think I may like this one a little bit better because it's a little bit less contrasty. Let's see a little before and after. Maybe I want slightly smaller grain on this picture. Let's change it from negative to positive. That makes it way more delicate. Remove the halation because I want that picture to be a little bit more clean. I'm happy with the result. Let's save it. This time this is a little bit of a landscape. I took this picture in States. Beautiful mountain in the background is the Mount Hood, and the lake on the foreground is the Trillium Lake. It was a very beautiful location. I had a pleasure to visit. Okay, now the image is much cleaner. Alright, so now let's go over some of the looks. Now I'm not going through all of them because I have the rough idea by looking at the miniatures, what I like, what I don't like, so I don't have to click on all of them. I like the Orvo the most. Let me correct the gamma a little bit. I will play with the expand a little bit. I will change the white point. Let me change the black point a little bit. I think we need a little bit more saturation. I think I will add a little bit of bloom effect. Let's see the little before and after in general to judge. Yeah, I think I like the look much better than the original. Alright, I think I'm happy with that, so we can save the picture. Very similar picture to the last one, so let's just apply different effects to have some comparison. Actually, I like Provia, to be honest. And let me add a little bit more saturation. Let's try some halation on that one. I will add a little bit of blooming as well. Maybe I'll add a little bit of vibrance to it, just a little bit to make it pop a little bit. All right, let's save it then. Okay, we have another picture. This time it's like a flat lay of some vintage camera equipment and some films. So I think that's suitable for the analog film effect. This one is nice actually, Kodak Vision 3, a little bit too much halation, but let me just quickly fix that. Let's lower the impact a little bit. Let's check little before and after. Maybe we need a little bit more grain. Let's make the grain a little bit bigger, like 3, and let's add way more of it. Let's add like 10. Yeah, I like it more grainy, to be honest. Let's crop it to square. Custom ratio 1:1. All right. Yeah, I'm happy with this picture. Let's save it. Okay, now we have some nice picture of a vintage camera. Yeah, I think we're gonna go with the superior. We're just gonna tweak it a little bit. Let's go to the white point and maybe take it down a little bit. Let's amplify the blooming. Okay, I think that's nice. Let's check the halation. Yeah, I think I'm happy with that. Let's see a little before and after. Yeah, I really like that look. Let's save it. Let's crop it to 4.5. Okay, I think that's much better. Okay, now we have the picture of my desk setup. It's nothing special, but I think it can look cool with some analog colors. Yeah, we're gonna go with Kodak our color with this one, and let's just add more higher grain. Alright, I think I like it. Okay, now we have some nice iPhone picture of my flashlight with a little bit of other accessories, a little bit of moody product photo. Actually, I'm gonna go with the Kodak Vision this time, and I will just reduce the halation, or maybe I'll get rid of the halation entirely for this one. Let me check. Alright. Okay, so now we have another landscape. We are moving to the beautiful Tenerife. Before I apply the DEHANCER, I want to remove a couple people from the image. We don't want any uninvited guests. Okay, now let's do the DEHANCER. Oh, Provia is really nice. I like the vibe. Maybe Superior as well. Yeah, let's do the Provia this time. Maybe let's add a little bit halation. Yeah, let's make it a little bit more subtle. Maybe we want a little bit of film compression to save that sky a little bit. Okay, I think that looks pretty cool. Let's save it. Okay guys, now we have another landscape. This time we can see a beautiful view from the Teide volcano on the Tenerife island. It's also an iPhone picture, so I wanted to mix a little bit of camera and iPhone to see how it works with the slightly lower quality pictures as well. I think I like the Orvo for this one. I like how the sky looks, I like how the desert looks. Maybe we need a little bit more grain as well. Yeah, I think I like this one. Alright, now we have another portrait. Yeah, I think I will go the Kodak Vision 3. Maybe play with the grain a little bit. Maybe adds a little bit of blooming. Let me check the film compression as well. Yeah, I think I like that. Okay, we have the same studio shoot with the same model, just wide body shot. Maybe with this one I will go black and white, because I didn't do that with the portrait. I like this one quite a lot. Yeah, so I think there was that one that I really like. So that was one of the Ilfords, the HP5. it could use a little better grain. So let's go to the grain section. No, I think I like this picture to be a bit more grainy. If it's black and white picture, I like it to be a bit more grainy, to be honest. Let me check if I can bring out the highlights slightly more. Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. Okay, now we have some nice Christmas vibes. This is the photo I took for my friend that sells beautiful candles. So yeah, let's make it a little bit more charming with some analog effect. We're gonna look for something brighter and warmer to make it more Christmassy. I like this one straight away, the Cinesteel. No, I think I like the Cinesteel the best, so let's do that then. Let me change the black point a little bit. Definitely need more grain. Maybe let's change the white point a little bit to make it a little bit brighter. Definitely we need some nice blooming. Okay, let's make that grain slightly smaller, a little bit more subtle. Yeah, I think I like that much better. Okay, now we have some drone photo as well, because I wanted to see if we can spice up the drone pictures a little bit, because DJI Mini 2 doesn't have like the most amazing sensor and the detail is a little bit mushy sometimes. So I was thinking that maybe if I add that analog aesthetics, I can make it look a little bit more interesting. So let's see. Yeah, I think I like the Kodak Superior the best. Let me just tweak it a little bit, maybe a little bit of the film compression, maybe the black point slightly lower, make the image slightly less contrasty. I will add a little bit of magenta and a little bit of red to the image. Film grain is a little bit too aggressive in this picture in my opinion. Let me change it to positive. And I think I want more aggressive halation on this picture. Okay, I think I like that halation, but let me make it slightly less aggressive. So I will take the impact down. Yeah, I like that a lot. Let me just check a little before and after. Yeah, I'm really happy with this look. So let's save it. I think I'm gonna go black and white with this picture because I didn't have it in black and white before, so maybe that's gonna be a bit more interesting. Yeah, we're gonna go with that Ilford XP2 Super 400. Okay guys, that's all the pictures I had for today, so now we're gonna see a little bit of before and after so we can compare the result and let's see how it went. Okay guys, I must say I'm very happy with the results and I had a lot of fun testing the software. One of the great thing is, if you take your holiday pictures with your iPhone, sometimes they tend to look a little bit soulless, a little bit over sharpened and over processed, and with the DEHANCER you can make them look more organic, more analog, just like the holiday pictures taken in the 90s, and I think that's great. Another thing is that if you take professional pictures with your DSLR or your mirrorless camera, you do some photo shoots, you do some street photography, if you want your pictures to look more analog, to have that nice colors, instead of going through the very long process of grading the colors, you can just pick your favorite film stock and get that organic stylized look straight away. You can focus more on taking a lot of pictures, on capturing great moments on the street, and you don't need to spend so much time editing. You can just use it across your images, and you can pick different film stock to different projects, or maybe different film stocks to different vibes, to different sceneries, to different countries. There is something that I really enjoy when I take pictures with my analog camera, that I don't have to stylize the colors. It's done for me by the film. So I put the film into the camera and the stylized look is baked into the images, and there is something very liberating about that, because then you don't have that dilemma of tweaking the colors to perfection and looking for that specific look. When you have the actual very natural organic film look, it's like the picture is already edited. You can just simply adjust the levels of brightness and the contrast and print it straight away. This is something very convenient in my opinion. You don't have to use it all the time, but I think it's great for some of the projects. Also, another thing is, let's say you're going for holidays, you take your analog camera, you have your 36 exposures or 24 exposures, you take the pictures in order to print them and put them into the album, and let's say you have a couple extra images taken with the digital camera or with your phone or your friend's phone, and you really want to incorporate those pictures into your album. You don't like that there is no consistency, because majority of your pictures are analog and you have that 3 or 4 digital pictures. You can emulate the same film stock that you use and then print them, and they're gonna match your album nicely, and you're gonna be able to fake the analog look. And also another thing is that the DEHANCER plugin is $199 US, and it can seem like a lot of money, but on the other hand, shooting on film is quite expensive, especially these days. You pay like at least $10 for the roll of 36 exposures, then you pay like another $10 to develop and scan the films. Of course, I can't recommend that enough. Analog cameras are great. I love analog cameras. I love shooting on film. I love shooting Polaroids. As you can see in the background, that's just a very small part of my collection of old cameras. I love vintage cameras, so I can't recommend that enough. Try shooting with the vintage camera, try shooting on film. However, it's quite pricey, so if you buy the DEHANCER plugin, you can take more images in that aesthetics that you love, and you can blend those pictures with your actual analog pictures. If you are interested in actually purchasing the plugin, I have a little gift for you. The code is KKVlog. Just use that at the checkout and you're gonna get 10% discount. Another benefit of using the DEHANCER is that you can experiment with 63 different film stocks, and some of those film stocks doesn't even exist anymore. You can experiment with different Kodak stock, Fuji stock, and then if you want to shoot the actual film, you already know that you really like the colors of Kodak Portra, for example, you can test it in the real life. I wouldn't say that the DEHANCER is like a replacement of analog photography. I would say it's like an expansion of analog photography, because you can still be passionate about taking picture with your analog camera and at the same time experiment and explore a lot of options with your digital camera as well. Okay guys, that's gonna be it for today's vlog. If you had fun, don't forget to leave the thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, because there is more content on the way, and see you in the next one.